Hey everybody, welcome to Snail Trail 4x4. Today we're installing a Pro Comp leveling kit on a 5th gen 4Runner. To remove the skid plate, we had to remove 6 bolts. There was 2 10mm up here at the front that are holding the plastic on. Then there was 4 additional 12mm bolts. There was 2 here and 2 here. There's also an additional plastic plug that is in the front. You have to use a little tiny screwdriver, pop it up, then the button will come up, it'll pop up from the top, and then you can pull it straight out. Then once we get that all undone, it kind of can lean forward, and there's these plastic tabs up here. It was sort of a pain in the butt. It took us a little bit of finagling to get them out. 2 19mm on the front and the back of the strut. Make sure it's nice and tight on there. Just loosen it up. Supporting the control arm here with the floor jack, we're going to remove the lower knuckle mounting bolts that are 19mm. Once we get those out, this part should be pretty free. Then we're going to loosen the control arm cam bolts. So we're going to lower the jack, hence lowering the control arm, and that's going to free up the strut, and then we're going to pull it out of here. Down we go. Much clear on the top. Going down. And we're out. Once the strut is out, we're going to use the Pro Comp front spacer, the 2-inch spacer here at the front. All it does is slide over the top. We'll use the old nuts on these studs, and then we'll use the new nuts that are provided on the top. Then we're going to slide this back in. Now that we put the top spacer on, we're just going to slide it in and adhere it to the top with the provided nuts. Not that one. So after snugging up the strut, we found that it's not properly aligned, so we're going to have to undo it and twist it so it lines up correctly, and then we'll snug it back up on the top. Now that we've completed the other side, our last step is to put the skid plate back on. The kit comes with these spacers, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the skid plate on, bolt up the front, and then the spacer goes on between the frame and the skid plate, and then we slide the bolt up through that to hold it out. It's going to lower it or rake it just a little bit, which should allow for the extra room for those cross arms. After we put the skid plate on, the tires, bolted it all together, tightened it all up, and lowered it to the ground, it raised it about 3 inches. We put that plate above the strut. That was only roughly 1.5 inches, so we were kind of confused about how that worked. Let me show you how it goes on the whiteboard. Perfect. So as you can see, 1.5 inches here on the lower control arm works out to be roughly 3 inches down at the tire. It's halfway, roughly about halfway down that lower control arm. So when you lower that down, even though it's 1.5 inches here, it's lowering 3 inches down at the tire, which means raising the vehicle 3 inches. So we backed the truck in, we took the tires off, we supported the axle and the frame each independently. What we did is we supported the frame, then we lowered the axle down till it pretty much bottomed out and just raised it a little bit to support it. Now we have to take off the sway bar and we're going to disconnect the shocks. It also tells us to remove the track bar in the instructions, but I'm not quite sure why, so we're going to leave it on for now, and maybe we'll pull it off in the future. So we got the sway bar here that we're going to disconnect, and we're going to disconnect the shock down at the axle. All right, you see what I'm doing here?
I can see it.
All right, you're going to do it on the other side now.
I will do that.
So we've decided to remove the track bar because the track bar is going to make the axle shift right and left perpendicular to the vehicle, and we want it to go straight up and down more parallel to the vehicle. So we're going to take it off. It happens to be a 19 millimeter right here. Ah, yes. Oh, what's this thing?
I don't know.
Is it a brake line?
It's cable of some sort. What is that? It's not touching it though. It's just in the way. Cut it. It's clips. Yeah, it clips in.
Yeah. Can it? Does it go around it? No, it doesn't, huh? It hits it when it goes up.
Yeah.
All right.
That clips in after.
You need some needle nose. And then one way it pinches, it should release. The tabs should go in, and then you should be able to slide it out. And I don't, but I can't see it well enough to know. It looks like it's this. Yeah. That way. Should be able to pull it out. There you go. That slides out. So I made this daisy chain of zip ties. So we're gonna pull the track bar all the way up to the frame and hold it out of the way. Probably didn't need that many. So we got the coil out. We just had to push the axle down a little bit, and then we were able to pull it right out. You can see the bump stops on the inside here. That's removable and pulls out. But the coil spacer, the Pro Comp spacer, has this lip on one side. That lip goes down onto the top of it. It doesn't fully seat. Not exactly sure why. It looks kind of funny. I'm not sure if I really like it that much. But once we put it in, we'll see if it seats a little farther down and how it looks. We'll check it out. Because we put that 2-inch spacer above the spring, it's pushing the axle down 2 inches. So we're not sure if these shocks are going to work. We're going to look into getting other ones, so we'll put notes down in the description if you're going to need additional shocks. But right now we're just going to put these back on so we can drive it around. So we buttoned everything together. We put it to full compression. Nothing looked like it was sitting, so then we put the tires on it and lowered it back down. Everything looks great underneath, no problems whatsoever. It's about a 1/2 inch lower right now in the front than it is in the rear. But I think with that extra little gap and driving around, it should settle pretty nicely. I also want to say a special thanks to Brennan for giving me this cool t-shirt. If you want to check him out, he's a website design company at frontstreetmedia.com. So thanks for the shirt.
Snail Trail 4x4.
The link.
That's the third link.
Yeah. No, the fourth link. There's one on the other side.
What links?
talking about here?
It's the four link.
You do have a 4-link rear.
All right.
4-link with a panhard bar.
I like
It's
it.
just really cute and tiny.
It's
Thank you, guys. Hey, it's not mine. It's my girl's, so it makes sense.
well,
She
she's
likes
cool,
cute and tiny things, huh?
Yes.
You're the guy for her then.
Yeah. I knew I was a good fiddle.